In this video, I will be explaining you the chapter 1 of physics, that is physical world. In this chapter, we'll study about introduction to physics, what is physics, scope and excitement of physics, physics, technology and society, fundamental forces exist in our nature, nature of physical laws. The first thing is introduction. The nature around us is colorful and diverse. The regular repetitions of day and night, the annual cycle of seasons, the eclipses, the tides, the volcanoes, the rainbows have always been a source of wonder. We expect all these different events in our nature take place according to some basic rules. For example, orbiting of moon around the earth, falling of an apple from a tree, tides in a sea on a full moon night can all be explained if we know the Newton's law of gravitation and Newton's laws of motion. Physics is concerned with some basic rules which are applicable to all domains of life. Understanding of physics therefore leads to applications in many fields including bio and medical sciences. The word science originates from Latin verb scientia, which means to know. What is science? Science is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena in as much as detail and depth as possible, and use the knowledge so gained to predict, modify and control the phenomena. Science is about exploring, experimenting and predicting from what we see around us. Scientific method involves the major steps: systematic observation, logical reasoning, model making, theoretical production, and the last one is verification or rejection of theory. The next thing is, what is exactly physics? The term is derived from Greek word called physis. Physis, which means nature. Physics is a branch of science which deals with the study of nature and natural phenomena. There are two thrusts of physics. The first one is unification and the second one is reductionism. We'll study both in detail. The first one is unification. It is a trial to correlate and unite various universal laws and basic phenomena of nature to explain an activity. For example, James Clerk Maxwell unified electricity and magnetism and showed that the light is an electromagnetic wave. The second one is reductionism, explaining the properties of complex system using properties and interactions of its constituent simpler parts is called reductionism. For example, initially thermodynamics was dealing with the bulk system in terms of temperature, internal energy, etc. Now, the kinetic theory and statistical mechanisms interpreted these quantities in terms of properties of molecular constituents of the bulk system. For example, you can see in the picture, the human brain activity can be studied by reducing the brain in smaller parts like neuron. By taking the neuron, we can study the whole brain. The next one is scope and excitement of physics. The scope of physics is very broad and covers a wide range of many branches. It is studied under the following. The first one is classical physics, which deals mainly with the macroscopic phenomena and includes subjects given below like mechanics, electrodynamics, optics, thermodynamics. The first one is mechanics. It deals with the motion of particles, rigid and deformable bodies, and general system of particles. It includes Newton's laws of motion and Newton's law of gravitation. For example, propulsion of rocket by a jet of ejecting gases, equilibrium of a bent rod under a load, propagation of water, propagation of sound, etc. are problems in mechanics. The second one is electrodynamics. Electrodynamics deals with the electric and magnetic phenomena associated with the charged and magnetic bodies. Its basic laws were given by Coulomb, Ørsted, Ampere, Faraday, and encapsulated by Maxwell in his famous set of equations. The motion of a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, the response of a circuit to an AC voltage, the working of an antenna, the propagation of radio waves in the ionosphere. These are some of the examples which electrodynamics deals. The third one is optics. It deals with the nature of light and different properties and phenomena exhibited by light. The working of telescopes, the working of microscope, are some of the problems in optics. The last one is thermodynamics. It deals with system in macroscopic equilibrium, and it is concerned with the changes in internal energy, temperature, entropy, etc. of the system through external work or transfer of heat. For example, consider a ball to which we are supplying some external heat. Due to this supply, the pressure, temperature, entropy, and internal energy of that system or that water changes. The study of these changes comes under thermodynamics. The second one is microscopic domain of physics. It deals with the constitution and structure of matter at minute scale of atoms and nuclei, and their interactions with electrons, photons, and elementary particles. The study of motion in micro world of atoms is known as quantum mechanics. Scope of physics is truly vast. At one end, it studies phenomenon at very small scale of length, about 10 power minus 14 or even less, involving electrons, protons, etc. At the other hand, it deals with the astronomical phenomenon at scale of galaxies, whose extent is of order of 1026 meter. Physics is exciting in many ways. To some people, excitement comes from the fact that a few basic concepts can explain large number of magnitude of physical quantities. To some others, the challenge in carrying out imaginative new experiment to unlock secrets of nature. Applications and exploitations of physical laws to make useful devices is the most interesting and exciting part. The next one is physics, technology, and society. The connection between physics, technology, and society can be seen in many examples, such as steam engine, as we know, is inseparable from the industrial revolution in England in 18th century, which had great impact on human civilization. Sometimes technology gives rise to new physics, at the other times physics generates new technology. Both have direct impact on society. An example of latter is wireless communication technology. The physics is the basic which is very helpful in developing every technology in the world, which in turn very helpful for the society. Therefore, physics, technology, and society are related to each other. For example, wireless technology, travel technology, civil technology. These are some of the examples which made man life easy. The next one is fundamental forces in our nature. In our experience, force is needed to push, pull, carry, break an object, and also we also experience the impact of forces on us, like when a moving object hits us, like the picture shown below. There are two approaches to study these forces. The first one is macroscopic domain, in which we'll study about frictional force, buoyancy force, contact force, force excited by compressed or elongated springs, etc. In microscopic domain, we'll study about intermolecular forces, electric forces, magnetic forces, nuclear forces, etc. Generally, there are four fundamental forces in our nature. The first one is gravitational force, second one is electromagnetic force, the third one is strong nuclear force, and the last one is weak nuclear force. The first one is gravitational force. The gravitational force is a force of mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses, as shown below in the picture. It is universal force. Every object experiences this force due to every other object in our nature. All objects on the earth, for example, experience the force of gravity due to the earth. In particular, gravity governs the motion of the moon and artificial satellites around the earth, motion of the earth and planets around the sun, and of course the motion of bodies falling to the earth. It plays key role in large-scale phenomenon of the universe, such as formation and evolution of stars, galaxies, and galaxy clusters. For example, falling off an apple from the tree, falling off a ball from some height. The next one is electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force is a force between charged particles. When charges are at rest, the force is attractive for unlike charges and repulsive for like charges. When the charges in motion, they produce magnetic effects, and magnetic field gives rise to a force on a moving charge. Electric and magnetic effects are in general inseparable, hence the name electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force acts over large distances and does not need any intervening medium. It is much stronger than the gravitational force. For examples given below, both positive charges are repelling each other, and negative and positive charges are attracting each other. When we hold books in our hand, we are balancing the gravitational force on the books due to huge mass of earth by the normal force provided by our hand. The latter is nothing but the electromagnetic force between the charged constituents of our hand and the book at the surface in contact. If electromagnetic force were not intrinsically so stronger than gravity, the hand of the strongest man would crumble under the weight of a feather. Strong nuclear force. Forces operating inside the nuclei are called strong nuclear forces. This force binds protons and neutrons in a nucleus. The strong nuclear force is the strongest of all the fundamental forces, about 100 times the electromagnetic force in strength. It is charge independent and acts equally between a proton and a proton, neutron and a neutron, and proton and a neutron. Its range is, however, extremely small, of about nuclear dimensions of about 10 power minus 15 meter. It is responsible for the stability of nuclei. The last one is weak nuclear force. The weak nuclear force appears only in certain nuclear processes such as beta decay of nucleus. In beta decay, the nucleus emits an electron and uncharged particle called a neutrino. The weak nuclear force is not as weak as gravitational force, but weaker than the strong nuclear and electromagnetic forces. The range of weak nuclear force is exceedingly small, of about 10 power minus 6 meter. For example, shown below. A solar neutrino, when hits the nucleus of an atom, the beta decay taking place, then it emits an electron and a neutron because of weak nuclear force. The last concept we need to study in this chapter is nature of physical laws. The various phenomena occurring in nature are explained on the basis of certain laws. These laws are explained in terms of some physical quantities. Several physical quantities may change with time, but some physical quantities remains constant in time. Conserved quantities. The physical quantities that remain constant during a process are called conserved quantities. Consider a ball at point A which is falling down and reaches at point B just above the ground. At point A, the potential energy is equals to x and the kinetic energy is equals to 0. At point B, the potential energy is completely converted into kinetic energy because it attains some velocity. Therefore, at point B, kinetic energy is equals to x and potential energy is equals to 0. Total mechanical energy at point A is equals to sum of both energies, that is x plus 0 is equals to x. Therefore, total mechanical energy at point A is equals to x. Total mechanical energy at B is equals to the same, that is sum of potential and kinetic energies, that is 0 plus x. Therefore, total mechanical energy is equals to x at point B. Therefore, total mechanical energy at A is equals to total mechanical energy at point B. By this example, we got to know that total mechanical energy is a conserved quantity. Law of conservation of mass. It states that the mass in an isolated system is neither be created nor destroyed by chemical reactions or physical transformations. For example, when wood burns, the mass of ashes and gases equals the original mass of wood and oxygen. When wood burns, it needs some oxygen to burn and converted into ashes and releases burnt gases. Therefore, mass of wood plus oxygen is equals to mass of ash plus gases. This is about law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, although it may be transferred from one to another. Or a system that is isolated from its surroundings, the total energy of the system is conserved. For example, when you push a book across the table, the energy from your moving arm is transferred to the book, causing the book to move. Consider a ball at point A, which is falling down and reaches at point B after some times, just above the ground. The height traveled is h. At point A, potential energy is equals to mgh and the kinetic energy is equals to 0 since the ball is at rest initially. Therefore, total mechanical energy at point A is sum of both potential and kinetic energy. Therefore, total mechanical energy at point A is equals to mgh. At point B, the total potential energy is completely converted into kinetic energy because it has attained some velocity, that is v. Therefore, kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. To find v, we know that v square is equals to u square plus 2gh. Here u is the initial velocity. Initially u is equals to 0 because the ball is at rest at point A. Therefore, we can write v is equals to root of 2gh. Substituting this v value in kinetic energy formula, we will get kinetic energy is equals to mgh. Therefore, total mechanical energy at point B also is equals to mgh. Therefore, total mechanical energy at point A is equals to total mechanical energy at B. This is law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of charge. Electric charge can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred from one system to another. Or in a closed system, the amount of charge remains the same. For example, charge is not created in the process of rubbing two objects together, it just transfer of charge will take place. Consider figure A. In this, we are considering two objects rubbing each other. The first object contains 3 electrons, that is q1 is equals to minus 3e, and the second object contains no electrons or 0 electrons, that is why q2 is equals to 0. Therefore, total charge in figure A, that is qa is equals to q1 plus q2. Therefore, total charge in figure A is equals to minus 3e. And in figure B, after rubbing, the first object, that is q1 is equals to minus 2e. It means a charge from this object is transferred into the second object, that is q2 is equals to minus 1 electron. Total charge in figure B, that is qb is equals to q1 plus q2. Therefore, qb is equals to minus 3e. It implies total charge in figure A is equals to total charge in figure B. This is law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of momentum. For two or more bodies in an isolated system acting upon each other, their momentum remains constant unless an external force is applied. Therefore, momentum can neither be created nor destroyed. For example, motion of rockets. Before takeoff, it has some momentum, that is Pb is equals to m into v. And after takeoff, it has attained some velocity, or it moves upwards by ejecting some gases downwards. Rocket will move upwards and the gases will move downwards. Therefore, momentum after takeoff of a rocket is Pa is equals to m minus m dash into v plus v dash. By this equation, we got that mass is reducing and velocity is increasing. Due to this mass and velocity changes, the momentum after takeoff also remains same as before takeoff. Therefore, momentum before takeoff is equals to momentum after takeoff. This is law of conservation of momentum. Thank you.